What's going on, everyone? So the other day we got news that the Lakers are monitoring several teams for a potential fire sale as we get closer to the NBA trade deadline. Now, obviously, it's the Lakers, so there's going to be tons of rumor and speculation surrounding them for potential trades. I do personally think the Lakers will try to pull something off. I don't think the Lakers are just going to make a trade just for the sake of making a trade, but we have seen Rob Pelinka, if a right deal is on the table that makes the Lakers better now and the long term, he's going to do so. Obviously, you got Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan are the two kind of main guys, main pieces that are taking over the headlines currently. But there are several teams that could potentially make sense for trade partners for the Lakers. Now, amongst those teams, I want to kind of go through several of the mentioned teams. We already did the Utah Jazz one, so check that out after this video. And this video, I want to talk about the Washington Wizards. Now, this is probably my least favorite team that was mentioned as a potential fire sale. Lakers monitoring that team. I just don't think the Wizards have a lot of pieces that make sense. And it's not because of their record. I mean, obviously, they are atrocious. But it's more so of like the players there, I don't think really would make sense. There are a couple guys that I wouldn't mind the Lakers acquiring if the price is right, but I think that they would be over costly for just minimal value for the Lakers. But nonetheless, that's why I wanted to talk about this now, kind of get it out of the way as we move to the more reasonable teams and teams that I think make the most sense. But also real quick, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But diving into it, now, Jordan Poole, stay as far away from that guy as possible. His contract is atrocious. He has shown that he's really not that guy. He had that one great run for the Warriors. Congrats. He got an NBA championship out of it. Got a big payday. But Lakers need to keep him as far away as possible. But Tyus Jones. I do like the idea of Tyus Jones. I think him in a backup role or maybe even a starting role if we do end up trading D'Angelo Russell for another deal. So, to me, all of the pieces for the Wizards would be like other trades. So, you trade for, say, a Zach LaVine, and then it's like, okay, well, we got D'Lo, we could use another playmaker, right? Especially if you give up like a Gabe Vincent also. It's like you could use another guard that makes sense. Tyus Jones, I think, would fit in just beautifully. You could have him, like I said, in the starting role to kind of just add another playmaker alongside LeBron James, and then LeBron plays the point guard to finish the game, right? And you have that guy starting. Also, Tyus Jones off the bench, I think, makes a ton of sense. Tyus Jones has been one of the best, if not the best, backup point guards in the league for the last few years. Thus far, with the Wizards, he is their starting point guard. He started every 19 of 19 games for them. He's playing around 27 minutes. He's given them about 11 points. He's given them 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He's shooting just a hair under 50% from the field in total. Three-point shooting has been rough this year for him, shooting 35%, but he has in several years shot 37 to 39%. So if he could get back to that, that would be huge. But just a guy that could get after it on the defensive side, make plays in a limited role. I don't think he's a guy that you'll want playing 30 minutes a game for you. But I do think, again, if he's just kind of starting for the game, right? So say you had a lineup of like Tyus Jones, Zach LaVine, say Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, I think that would be a solid starting unit. And then Tyus kind of plays that backup role. You run Reeves as a primary ball handler at times. You run LeBron, obviously, to close the games, as we have seen. And then Tyus Jones just kind of fits in pieces. I'll play somewhere around like 18 minutes a game, maybe, in that ballpark. I wouldn't hate that idea. Again, especially if you're getting rid of D'Angelo Russell, if you're getting rid of Gabe Vincent, then I think you need another ball handler. I think you need another playmaker, and I do think Tyus Jones could fit that bill. Again, depends on what the cost is, but it's tough with the Wizards. But another option would obviously be Kyle Kuzma returning to the Lakers. He's a guy that the Lakers have been considered bringing back. Like last year, there was a lot of talk about the Lakers trying to pursue Kyle Kuzma. I think he could fit in nicely in a role. He's just starting a new contract, but that contract goes down in price every year. So this year it's $25 million. In 24, 25, it's 23. Then it goes to 21. Then it goes to 19. That's really good, especially considering the cap spike is shooting up once we get to the 25 season. So to have a contract like Kuz that's actually decreasing year in and year out would give the Lakers a lot of like future flexibility as well. I don't think Kuzma is a huge necessity. Again, to me, he would kind of be another piece if you were to like unload several pieces. Like let's say you're unloading Rui and Prince and whatever else, right? And it's like, well, we could use another sizable wing. I mean, Kuz is familiar with the Lakers. He's a guy that can come in, got good size at 6'9", can play the power forward, can play the small forward position, kind of be a bit of a 3-and-D guy, although defense hasn't been like fantastic for him. But he is a guy that has shown that he can score the basketball, right? He, for the Wizards this year, is averaging just under 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. So he's gotten really stepping up in the playmaking department. This is the best assist total season he has had thus far this year. Shooting the free throws well at 82%. He's shooting 53% in 2-point range. He's shooting 36% from 3-point range. And he's shooting just a hair under 48% total from the field. Again, not somebody that I am like, we have to get. Also, that $25 million, especially after like trading for, let's say, a Zach LaVine. If you trade for DeMar DeRozan, right, you could probably go get a Kyle Kuzma. But also picks and how much would it cost to go get Kuzma, right? It's just, again, it gets a little complicated. But I'm just trying to go with names or players that I think could make sense for the Lakers, but it's just, again, that's why this is exactly why the Wizards just don't make sense for me for a trade partner. I just don't think that there's a lot of just value with the players that they have. But moving on, keeping the ball rolling, Daniel Gafford might be my favorite or potentially my second favorite. The next two guys are probably my two favorite options for the Lakers if they were able to make a trade. Daniel Gafford is a young center that, hey, look, the Lakers need big men, right? The Lakers could use some bodies. His, again, contract is very reasonable. He's only making $12 million this year. 13 next, 14 million after that. So next 3 years, very reasonable contract-wise. 6'10", got some good size, got some good length, got some good strength. Again, 6'10", 234. He's averaging around 10 points per game. I think he would make a lot of sense as like a backup big, a guy you can even slot alongside Anthony Davis. Thus far, he's averaging, again, just around 10 points, 9.8 to be exact. He's averaging 8 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2 blocks per game, which would be huge. Again, give you another rim protector, especially off the bench or alongside Anthony Davis. I think him and Anthony Davis would make a very good defensive pairing. He's shooting 70% from the field also on 6 attempts. Doesn't shoot any threes. He's not a guy that's going to stretch the floor by any stretch of the imagination. All of his scoring is done at the 2-point range, being a lob threat, roll man, stuff like that. Free throw shooting is another concern. He's around 65%, 65% free throw shooting. But in a backup big man role, I think he would make a lot of sense. Right now, he's averaging 25 minutes a game for the Washington Wizards. If the Lakers could get somebody like him and play him 15 to 18 minutes, right? And just be a guy that can rebound the basketball, block some shots, be a lob threat. I don't hate the idea as another big body. He's still young enough to continue to grow and develop. He's only 25 years old, so a lot of room, a lot of potential there for Daniel Gafford. I like the idea of bringing him in if you can, if it makes sense, if it's reasonable for the asking price. But last guy I wanted to talk about, Corey Kisper. I mean, look, he's a 6'6" shooting guard, small forward, that's still very young, 24 years old. He's a guy that can make an impact on just the shooting department, right? This is a guy that three-point percentage shooting around 38%. He's about a 39% three-point shooter on 5 attempts per game. Last year, he shot almost 43% from three-point range on 5.2 attempts per game. The Lakers really could use some more shooting, which is why I kind of lean towards him being a guy that could just be a solid pickup. He's averaging about 11 points, 3 rebounds. So again, not like super sold on him, but he would be an easy acquisition. So he's on 2-year, $6.9 million contract. So his salary is very tradable. Like, his contract is something that the Lakers could easily go and acquire. He's obviously would have to get a new contract as we move into the years, but he's still got a again, $3.7 million this year, $5.7 million next year. So, I mean, you could trade a couple vet guys, vet minimum guys, or maybe even one of our young guys to go and acquire him. Just give us like a quality, just dead-eye shooter, kind of give you a bit of a 3-and-D style guy. He's not like some elite defensive player by any means. He's about a 117.6 defensive rating for his career, which isn't like fantastic, just because league average is around 115. But he is a guy that if he can just provide some solid defensive minutes, right? He's not going to be in a starting role or anything like that. He's going to be a guy that comes off the bench, gives you some shooting. Personally, I wouldn't mind, like, if I had to pick 2 guys to bring on from the Wizards, right? It would probably be Kisper and Daniel Gafford. Those would be the 2 guys. Tyus Jones, again, would be another guy I wouldn't mind. But again, Wizards are not my favorite pick as far as like player acquisitions go and looking for trades. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think the Wizards are a trade partner? Is anybody on the Wizards that you'd want to be on the Lakers? Do you think no, stay away from everyone on the Wizards? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate you. See you all in the next one. Thank you.